geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I'm glad you're here today. If you are new to the channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the running content that I have coming out on this channel all the time. It doesn't cost you a thing and it keeps you up to date on all of the training and running stuff that I am doing. Today, I want to have just a little talk with you because I've had some people asking about finding motivation to get out there and walk, run, exercise, what have you. I will admit that sometimes I have it a little easier than most because I am a stay-at-home mom and therefore I can kind of dictate what happens in my schedule. I can find ways to fit different exercises and things like that in. So, I mean, I do have that control over my own day and I don't have to schedule around a work day or anything like that. So I'm going to say right off the bat that I do kind of have an advantage that a lot of people maybe don't have. But even so, I can't really say that every single day I really want to exercise. I really want to go out and get a run done. You know, sometimes things just get kind of hectic and that's kind of the last thing that I want to do. I would rather just find time to do other things. And it's just kind of hard to find the motivation that I need in order to get out the door. So let's just talk a little bit about how I get it done. I have some good news and bad news about motivation. The bad news first is that you can't always go out searching for motivation and find it. Motivation is not just one of those things that you can wait to fall into your lap. You can't just sit around and wait until the motivation makes you get out the door and get things done. The good news, though, is that you do have control over your consistency, and with consistency can come a sense of motivation. Now, it's very easy to find motivation if you have, for instance, a race or an event or a speed trial, some sort of challenge coming up on the calendar. You can look at that date and say, if I'm going to be ready by that date, then I have to get out and get the runs done. I have to get out and walk. I need to go out and get some miles. I need to get the strength training done and so on. So it's very easy to point at that date and use that as motivation, but sometimes even that won't be enough. You need to have a reason that you have signed up for that challenge, that speed trial, that race. What is it that you are trying to prove to yourself? Yes, hopefully if you are doing something, then it is to prove something to yourself because you don't owe proof to anybody else that you can do something. But even so, with that date on the calendar, sometimes it's hard to just look at your schedule and say, where can I find time to get a run in? Or, you know, I've been working so hard today, I just don't have the energy to go out there and get something done. This is where consistency can pay off. You can force consistency, but you can't force that motivation. But a lot of times, like I said, if you work on that consistency, then the motivation will start to find you. So my first tip for trying to maintain your consistency is to treat your exercise like an appointment. Find a way to schedule it into your day, like a doctor's appointment or a meeting or anything like that. Say, from this time to this time, this is where I'm going to keep this appointment with myself. It doesn't even have to be a long appointment, which is my second point. Just do sometimes the bare minimum, and that's enough. A lot of times, especially when I was first getting started with running, I would not feel like going out the door at all. And so I would promise myself if I could just do 10 minutes, because I can suffer through 10 minutes of anything. And if I wasn't feeling good by the end of that first 10 minutes of that run, then I would just call it for the day. I would just say, at least I got something done. I will try again tomorrow. And a lot of times though, after that first 10 minutes, I would feel okay. I would start to feel better. I'd start to get into the groove of a workout. And so I would just continue working out for the rest of the 30-minute or 1 hour block that I had set up for myself. So once you have blocked out that time for yourself, and if you're still not feeling it, then just promise yourself you're going to do 10 minutes worth of something and call that for the day, because at least if you don't feel like doing anything after that 10 minutes, you will have accomplished something. The third thing that helped me when I was trying to build consistency would be to make myself accountable. I would find some way to make sure that somebody was checking in on me. When I was first starting to walk and to run and everything, if I knew I was going to have a workout that day, I would say out loud to someone in the house with me, okay, I'm going to go for a run today. And then I would go and I would change into my clothes and, you know, sometimes even then I'd be like, I don't know if I want to go. Then that person would usually ask me, hey, didn't you say you were going to go for a run today? You're already dressed for it. And then I would say, okay, yes, you're right. I need to go get that done. Head out for your bare minimum. If the bare minimum is feeling good, then go ahead and keep going with it until you finished out the time that you blocked for yourself. So you see how all of this can kind of build up in order to help maintain your consistency. So those are the 3 things that I used when I was first starting to walk, to run, to get more into my fitness, is that I would just concentrate on making sure that I got something done. And it started 3 days a week. Then I started upping it to 4. And, you know, as things progress, then you start kind of maintaining a little bit of a schedule. And thankfully, at this point, I have been doing that so consistently for so long that it's just part of my program. It's part of my routine. I don't even really have to think about it because fitness and running and working out, it's just a regular part of my daily schedule. But I will admit, when I was first starting out, it was really, really hard to find the motivation to do it. And so just by focusing on maintaining consistency, now I don't have to really worry about getting myself out the door. It's just an automatic thing that I do. And to be honest, there are times when I maybe can't run as long as I want to, or maybe I'm going to have to cut my run short today, and I really kind of miss it. I feel kind of bad if I'm not able to get a run in because I've been doing this consistently for so long that, you know, the motivation is definitely there. So by maintaining consistency, the motivation found me, and then it just kind of adds onto it. Once I have a race date that is set on the calendar, then I can say, okay, in addition to all of this, I need to have this type of training done by this date. And again, that just kind of adds to it and makes sure that I get things done. So there you go, just a little bit about motivation and how to find it, since people have been asking me, you know, I don't know how to get started, or I'll get started and I keep quitting. That's my main advice, is focus on that consistency and the motivation will find you. So now I want to pass the question off to you. What is it that you do in order to kind of maintain consistency? How do you find motivation? Do you have any other questions about just kind of how I maintain a consistent schedule? Why don't you let me know down in the comments below? Or if you found this video helpful, you can give it a big thumbs up. Both of those things really help out the channel and help us get out to more runners just like you. This is your second reminder that if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, make sure that you hit it so that you don't miss any of the running content I have coming out all the time, including training for some races that I have coming up very soon. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for being here. I'm so glad you could spend this time with me, and I can't wait to see you next time. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. See you guys later.